In this video, we'll take a look at the method signature line and define some of the items that are in it. So this is an example of the method signature line, this whole line 9 in this example. No, so the reason for learning these terms is so that when you are reading documentation online or receiving help from a tutor or a professor, so that you can be speaking the same language. For example, in this case, the person might say, it looks like your first parameter type is incorrect, and you might say, my first parameter type? I have no idea what that is. So after this video, you should know what that is. Here we go. First of all, right now we're going to ignore the public static. You're going to use them for a long time without us telling you what they are. You already know what this is. This is the method name that happens just before the parentheses. So this is the name of the method. This part here is the return type. This week, it's always going to be void because we're talking about methods that don't return anything. So the word to the left of the method name this week is always going to be the word void. But we'll see next week we'll start looking at some more different things. This area inside the parentheses, so this whole business inside the parentheses is the parameter list. And so an easy way to remember parameter list is that it starts with the letters PAR, and parentheses also starts with the word PAR. So parameters are in the parentheses. So these parentheses are what you use to figure out where what the name is, because the name will be listed before them. Following the name is the parameter list in parentheses. So a way to remember this is something like I'll type it because it'll be faster. Extra information about the method that you might need to send to the method. So for example, in English I might say something like, I would like a cheese sandwich with no onions. Okay. So if I were to write that in code, if I were actually ordering a cheese sandwich, I might say, make cheese sandwich. In parentheses, I might say, no onions. Or maybe I would say, make a cheese sandwich. And the first parameter maybe is, do I want onions or not? I could say false. I don't want onions. So now these two examples that I just typed are examples of method calls. What would that associated method definition look like? Well, maybe something like this. Here's a signature line. Public static, which I said I'm going to wave my hands and not tell you what that is. In this case, it's not really void because it's giving me back a sandwich, but let's just say that this is just making the sandwich. It's not giving me back the sandwich. So make cheese sandwich is a name. And then in parentheses, I might say like Boolean. This would be for the second example. Boolean with onions. And then something happens in here. So this is an example of a method definition that would go with that second method call. So then taking a look at public static void make cheese sandwich and calling out the parts of that for a minute. Void is the return type. Make cheese sandwich is the method name. In parentheses after the method name is always the parameter list, and here I have one parameter, a Boolean variable named with onions. And then next, in another video, we'll see a little bit more about these parameters and how to define them.